right, 8:40 in the morning. I just pulled up the, it says it right here, CPI. I don't know why I couldn't see that the last time I was looking at it. At least I'm confused because it says CPI and it's the number here is, I don't know, I'm confused. Core inflation rate, month over month, inflation, year over year. I guess the number expected is going to be 6.2. The forecast is 6.3, and the previous one was 6.5. And I have a feeling as long as the number is somewhere near the forecast, the market might rally. Or this is what also could happen today, because Adam Mancini tweeted this morning that he expects a possible chop. There's been times where he said that it's more than likely going to be a day of possible chop, and the market rallies. And it rallies before CPI or like before FOMC, and that's just really weird. And let me just say, one of the many reasons why I hate trading options, but it's really the only option I have because I'm so poor. If you were trading futures, right? And let me bring over ES to show the comparison just briefly. Okay, so on, oh my god, I keep doing this. I really hate this thing. I wish there was a way I can get rid of this option. I don't know what purpose it serves. Okay, so we'll go to well, this is 1515. The old bull flag, broke out of it. New bull flag, which, is barely visible on here because of this mess I have. And we rejected. Thursday fell, bounced off of the, or this is Wednesday, bounced off of the old bull flag, came close to the new bull flag and rejected hard on Thursday, which was where I lost money. And then we opened Friday just under this bull flag, and of course the old bull flag and the new bottom of the new bull flag. And of course I took it short and I took it long and lost money both ways. So I was hoping it might go down or it might go up, but being my wonderful luck, I lost money in both directions, and it chopped like crazy, but finally made its way back above the bull flag, but not by a significant. No, I take it back. Adam Mancini predicted 41.06, and look where it went, 41.06. Certainly wasn't a straight line to get there, and it didn't get there until 6 o'clock. Now, here's why this makes trading options so incredibly frustrating. A, when it went down towards the support zone, it was earlier in the day. I can't trade at that time. You can't trade options until 9:30. 9:30 began the chop period. Now I took it long shortly after the bell, but again, with options, unless you pick the more expensive options like the in the money, at the money options, which generally cost $120 or more, this small move wouldn't have given you much profit. And I remember taking, I forget, it was like a $40 option, and it only went up like maybe $8. And the swing I took, of course, I lost money on. And then I took a put, and it powered up, of course, right here. I remember taking the put later on, and it powered up, and I exited. But it did come back down eventually. Even if I held my initial option, I probably would have been lucky to break even here, because my option was, I think, a 414 or 412 strike, or 413 or something. So this is why trading futures, I think, is much better if I knew how to do it and if I could afford to do it. It's so much easier, so much less stressful. We get to support 4060. You can simply just take the trade right there, or if you want to be cautious, wait a little bit longer. Or if you're sleeping, you put a buy limit. You put a buy limit, you get into the contract, and you can either sell at first resistance, which was 41. If 4101, 4106 is the goal, then sell at 4100. There you go. You would have sold here or here. But if you want to wait for 4106, sell some at 4106, all or some of whatever you pick. If you had multiple contracts, you could sell most at 4106 and hold some for the weekend. And here we are. We're a little bit higher. Adam Mancini predicts we're going to go to 4128. Why 28 specifically? I don't know, but his numbers usually spot on. So I show 42.3, but whatever. And that's it. You're done. Exit almost all of your remaining positions and maybe leave one to see if we make it to the top of the bull flag. But here's what's probably going to end up happening. The bell's going to ring. We're going to pull back a little bit to one of these previous resistances, maybe even to the bull flag. Or we'll chop a little bit, maybe dip down there and then rally. I don't know. I'm not trading today. I'm making this video. Let me be honest. I was tempted to just end this because I know this is a silly reason, but the real reason, of course, is I'm just fed up with this. I'm so sick of this trading. It's just when you try something your hardest and you read books about it and you practice it and whatever. I mean, a lot of people say this is one of the hardest things you can ever do. But to me, the real reason why this is so hard is because a lot of it's luck. It really is. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. It's just the truth. Granted, if I had kept MK strategy and waited until after 10:30 and found a support and resistance, which ended up being here, right? Well, actually, I used 15 minutes, as I had to make a 50-minute support and resistance and do it here. Although I didn't adjust this, I was done by that day. Then here, this would have been a good play right here. This one short, although it's very choppy. This one long. The other problem with MK's strategy is that he likes to use day of expiration contracts. The problem with those is the only way to avoid the degradation from theta, which is massive. It's like if Thanos snapped his fingers and the premium starts to disintegrate in value. The only way to avoid that is if it's in the money or at the money. In other words, if you're going to take this long and now it's 12:15, or better yet, let's say you didn't get this one, you see another 15-minute support forming, 1, 2, 3 forms of support, and you decide to take this long. If you took this, let's show you. Let me demonstrate. I'll have to finagle the numbers to get back to Friday's expiration. Let's see. Let's say you decided to take the 407 strike. All right. Today's the 13th. Friday was the 11th. Right? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was the 10th. Sorry. Okay. You would have to take the 407 strike because here we are, 406. If you chose anything outside 407, and it just so happened that we closed the market in 407, it was in the money. So you could have gone from $39 to $140, which would have been a great trade. That would have been good. The problem is if you chose just one strike out, if you chose 40 or a couple strikes out, 409, all right, you thought, you know what, maybe we might get up to here for whatever reason. Then when you would take that trade, it'll peter out quickly. If you chose the 408, it did close in the money, so you would be good there. So it's a little tricky. You have to pick the right strike, and you have to pick. Um, I mean, granted, here and towards the end of the market, the reason why it's cheaper is because it's higher risk. If it doesn't go up, whatever money you put in, there's a very good chance you might lose it. But that was a pretty strong rally towards the end. It went from 406 to 408, 2 points in a couple hours. So, I mean, not that strong, but it worked. My point is though, with futures, I don't think you have to. I don't exactly know how futures works, but you don't have to worry about all of this. But if you used today's expiration, so let's say you did 411, it's a little bit better. The difference is that the price differential isn't as strong. Remember, when you did 407 on Friday's expiration, it went from like 30 to 140, right? From here to here, 30 to 140. Actually, this one, actually, you know what? It's this one. This is the dip, and this is the rise. That's what I realized was happening. 15, 15, 15, 15. It's here. If you had chosen this one, this would be here. 14, 15. 14, 15. Where is it? I don't know. It makes no sense. It's like here. This is ridiculous, but typical with options. Let me zoom in a little bit and show what I'm talking about. Here would be a good time to go long because you see a 15-minute demand forming, and it also bounced off of the bottom of the bull flag. So let's say you decided to take it long at 230. Here we are, 230. You get in at $50, and it chops around and it goes up to 76, right? And that's if you use today's expiration. But if you went long here, where it dipped back down and went below $50, even though it's way up here, see, that's what happens with theta. You go long here and it's $50. It dips back and it's already at 50 here. Hopefully though, if you did catch the bottom and your stop loss was big enough, you wouldn't get filled here. And I guess you can say it also bounced just above VWAP, and then it rallies at the end until this 1 hour resistance I have. So again, with options, you have to pick the right strike, which tends to be more expensive. If you pick it later in the day, it can be cheaper, but that's if the move happens later in the day. And at this point, I had shut down Thinkorswim and walked away because I was out of money. I had no more money left. And in fact, I think I might today either not trade at all, or I may wait till later in the day to make the trade. But I have a feeling whatever big moves are going to be made might be made earlier in the day. Tomorrow's CPI, so we'll see what happens. But in all honesty, I was going to do this. I was going to take my money out, my $76 I have, and go buy these. Because I think I've mentioned before, because I'm poor. It's funny I say I'm poor, but I'm spending like almost $2,000 a month on rent in this little studio that's crappy, that has an obnoxious Charlie uniform November Tango upstairs. And I actually confronted her yesterday because yesterday was incredibly noisy. Wait, let me just show you just what I was dealing with yesterday while I was trying to demo trade. It sounds like somebody's using foil paper and a Brillo pad and just scraping the floor. And that's what I was hearing for almost an hour yesterday. And I got so frustrated that I went up there and knocked on her door and asked her civilly, and I even recorded the entire conversation so she wouldn't complain and say I was being threatening, why she insists on making these noises every single day. I didn't know it was a she at first, but it was like some middle-aged Spanish lady, and she drops things on the floor routinely, drags furniture around routinely, and I even went to speak to security, and I'm done. It imagine if there was a mosquito intermittently buzzing in your ear, like it comes by, it buzzes in your ear, and it goes away, and it does it at least once or twice every 5 minutes, but it does it from morning till night, every day for weeks and months. And after a while, it makes you want to snap and go insane. And yeah, I'm paying almost $2,000 a month rent to live here, where I can hear every noise out in the street because the windows are absolute trash. It's like having the cheapest window you can have, and a neighbor upstairs who's profoundly obnoxious. But anyways, so I can't afford to go to any of the gyms here on the beach. The cheapest one is like I think 60 bucks a month, and the normal gyms that most people go to that are like 30 bucks a month, like LA Fitness, there's none of those on Miami Beach. So if I want to go to one of these places, like a cheaper gym, I have to drive off the beach. And depending on what time you go, especially if it's like around 5 o'clock, man, it can take you an hour to drive off the beach and get back on the beach. That's not an exaggeration. I'm telling you, when I used to work at the grocery store part time, which is only 2 miles from here, it can literally take me 25 minutes or 30 minutes to get there, depending on what time of day. 30 minutes to drive 2 miles. So, yeah. Anyway, so I was gonna take the rest of the money out of my account, but because it was the weekend, I didn't think I could do it, and I want to go buy those two dumbbells because for almost 3 years now, I would say 3 years, but not almost, but by August of this year, it would make 3 years. August of this year, it would make 3 years that I have um, only been training outside at a park with a TRX strap, and that's it. That's all I have for workout equipment. And this is not really great, but I gotta work with what I got, you know? Um, yeah, I was gonna take all my money out of my account and do that because I'm just so done with this. But I couldn't because the banks were closed. It was the weekend and I didn't see that ad until later in the day. But 60 bucks for two 35-pound dumbbells is a pretty good deal and they look fairly new. But yeah. Um, so what's the plan? I don't know. I again, the plan if today is going to be chop, the plan for me is to just sit back and wait till later in the day and see what happens, or perhaps not even trade at all and wait till CPI tomorrow. Hopefully, CPI would give an opportunity for me to maybe regain some of the money I've lost. I don't know if I can make one good trade, but this is the gambling mindset. Is the thought if I can just make one good bet, one good trade, if I can just pull that lever one more time or play one more hand of poker. But I also don't like, how do I put this? The difference between trading and gambling though is with trading you can find an edge. It's not guaranteed, but there's an edge. With gambling, it's just that. It's just pure guessing. I guess if you're betting on racing horses, you can bet on this horse because it won the last few races or whatever, but I don't know how that kind of works, to be honest. Um, or if you're playing poker, I guess you can use the the other people to determine whether or not they have a good hand or not. I don't know. I don't know what strategy there is in some of those things, but pulling the lever on that machine, that slot machine or whatever, seems to me it's purely random. Here, on the other hand, I can say, hey, we're at this level, it might bounce, it might reject, it might do this, it might do that. We created a 15-minute demand. Da, da, da. So to me, this is more predictable. But there is an element of luck here. And There are people who are going to adamantly deny that and say, no, this is not luck at all. This is purely. But if they, for the people who say that there's no luck involved with this, right? Then they're saying that when they take a trade because it does whatever reasons they say it does, then that means there's 100% chance it's going to do what they think it's going to do. If they think that, that's insane. Nothing in trading is guaranteed. Nothing. There's a higher probability that it might do something at this point than it would at another point, but it's not guaranteed. And my luck is every time I take a trade based on whatever variables, whatever confluences, whatever, generally speaking, it doesn't go my way. So what can you do? If there's a 75% chance that it's going to bounce at a level and I take it and it turns around and goes down below that level and my stop loss gets hit and then it turns around and comes back up, what can I do? If I keep having wide stop losses, I'm just going to keep losing money. And even though the book I read from Adam Grimes, it said that you have to have a smart stop loss and you have to put your stop loss where most others wouldn't have their stop loss. But at the same time, in that same book, there was another chapter where he said one of the most important things you want to do is maintain your capital, because you can't trade if you don't have capital. Well, if you keep having wide stop losses and you lose money because your stop losses are so wide, because you have to put your stop losses lower than everyone else's, lower than expectation, then you're going to lose capital. So if on one hand I have to maintain capital, but on the other hand I have to have a wide stop loss, how do you do both? Simple. You have to be lucky. You have to hope that when you take the trade, that regardless of wherever you put your stop loss, it's not going to get hit and the price is going to go in your direction. So anyways, this is already a long video. I might start another video if I think I might take a trade later in the day, but I probably won't. But I have a feeling when the market bell rings, this thing's going to rally. And if let me see if I can pull up ES. If 428 is the ultimate goal, let me see if I can back this up and see if this shows up on 428. Yeah, even here, I don't have anything that would stay 428. I have 4130. I guess I can squeeze this down a little bit, but I don't know why 4128 is the goal. But anyways, if this is the goal and the bell rings, it might just rally up to here and then just peter out and chop for all I know. So what can I do? I'll be back. I just jumped out the shower really quick, just out of curiosity to see if this is going to rally like I said. And it doesn't look like it really is going to be rallying, so but I'm holding to my promise to myself. I'm not going to trade until like after 10:30 and then look for the cleanest demand supply zones, and even then I probably won't trade, because if it's a failed trade and I lose money, then I'm going to get to a point where I don't even have enough money to buy an option. So yeah. Again, let me reiterate what I've said many times. 50% of this is just luck. Even something as simple as saying, you know what, every time I've taken the call or a short prior to 10 o'clock or 10:30, I get burned. I'm going to wait until after 10:30 and then take the call. And Adam Mancini said in his tweet, expect chop today. Okay. And I'm telling you, 50% of the times that he says that, we end up not chopping. We end up actually rallying. So since 9:30, so basically for the past half hour, every 5-minute candle except for one has been green. And this thing has gone from 41, where it dipped down below, to now 70, whatever. And it's going to keep pushing up. And remember, there it is. The part of my mind said, hey, maybe just screw it all and just jump in with your little bit of money. You have 76 bucks. Jump in with your 76 bucks. And if this thing keeps pushing to 4128, maybe you can make like $10. It's something. But 4128 is the first goal. Then 4135, according to Adam Mancini's tweet, is the next goal. And also he tweeted saying precise technicals, resistance on Friday, support today. So the support today was 4100 because that's where we topped off on Friday, I guess. Although technically it's 4108 way up here, but whatever. 4106 was his target on Friday, so it's today's support between 4100 and 4106. And of course we dipped down here just above VWAP and then just rallied since then. So if I had gotten in, if I had just put my buy limit somewhere there, hoping that it would dip down and then carry me up, here's $40 I could have made today. That would have made up for Friday's losses at the very least, and would have almost doubled my account, almost. But if I held it until 4130, this is probably gonna end up being like around a $60, $70 profit. So, yep. When I take the trade early, it burns me. When I don't take the trade early, I miss out. It's luck. It's pure luck. Your strategy will or will not work, and in my case, it most of the time doesn't work. So, what's the plan now? When it gets to 4135, whatever it is Adam Mancini's next target, let's see. Clean technicals to start in ESF. 4100, 4105 was support today, and we hit 4101 and then got a 16-point jump scalp. 4100 area was resistance Friday, therefore support today. Technicals 101. Now that it popped, must hold, keeping 4128, 4135 in play. 4100 fails, we see 4080, 4065. So since it's already popped and left me behind, and he texted this 11 minutes ago, so this is somewhere down here that he sent this, or he tweeted it, whatever. The only thing I can hope is that it comes back down to test 4100, but I can guarantee you that's not going to happen. This push right here is insider. We already got good news for CPI, so we're just going to push the price. It's going to make its way to the top of the bull flag today, and sometimes I wonder if the sound of furniture being dragged on the floor is actually the person, this woman upstairs, farting. And that's what it just sounded like. Isn't that something? The soundproofing in this fancy building is so terrible. Although I think it's because the person who owns this apartment did some construction and dug up the floor and redid the floor and took out some of the soundproofing, unfortunately. Remember what I said? Look at this. If I had gotten in here when I first started this video, if I was able to jump in here, I would already be up almost $30 if I could have jumped in earlier. But what can I do, man? What can I do? You know, I'm doing my best. If I take the trade, it burns me. If I don't take the trade, it goes in my direction. So yeah. Or I could have been like, hey, look, it dipped down here pre-market just before. Maybe I'll just put my buy limit somewhere there and see if it carries me in. If I got in at 40 something dollars, I'm up $50 now almost. $50. Oh man. And at one point it dipped down. We've had 1-2 bounces at VWAP. At one point it dipped down. This is actually right around the time Adam Mancini made his tweet. 9:47. When did this tweet come in? It looks like 9:47. 9:50. So at 9:47 I could have gotten in. Even if I could have gotten in at just where's 9:47? I could have gotten in at like 55 and sold here maybe 95 to play it safe and got myself $40. That would have been nice. It would have been nice to make a little chunk of money today, 20, 30, 40 bucks, so I can use that tomorrow. Although I'll probably end up losing it tomorrow anyways. I don't know. I just, man. Remember, I said it in my video. I said, watch, I'm going to wait till later on today because it's supposed to be chop according to Adam Mancini, but watch, it's just going to be a straight rally. Guarantee you. It seems like every time I decide to do something, the opposite ends up happening. Or if I decide to do something and I second guess myself and do something else, then it turns out my initial instincts were correct. So yeah, let's see if it gets back down to 4100. So all I can do now is just put an alert. See if it actually comes back down there. I highly doubt it will. Below, you stupid moronic piece of garbage. What can I do, man? I'm so done with this trading nonsense. Okay, I hope YouTube doesn't like flag my video or something because I took my shirt off, but that shirt's itchy for some reason today. So it pulled back a little bit to this daily, and I thought about getting in. I had just enough money to get in here and here, but I was distracted here, and I thought about doing it here, but I just thought, you know what? Knowing my luck, watch I put in all my entire account to get into this trade, and then it turns around against me. And the target is 4128, 4130, and we're just below it. So is it really worth risking my entire account so close to a resistance? I thought not, but this could be a bull flag forming. But in the past, whenever I've seen these dojis occur one after the other, sometimes it ends up falling. So the only thing I can hope is that it tests VWAP, or it comes back down to 4100 again, which, again, we're now at 4123. I highly doubt it's going to drop 13, 14 points to give me another chance to get in, but I have my alert there. Maybe it'll come back down. Maybe, but I doubt it. The fact that I'm not in the trade is why this rallied. If I took this trade this morning, this would have fallen. So, but it did go as high as 96, 97. So, and there we go. It's pushing back up again. So, yep, if I had gotten in here at, I don't know, 75 something, I could have made at least, if I pushed up a little bit more, 20 bucks. And here's the interesting thing too. We're 8 minutes away from 10:30, right? This is the 5 minute. The only possible spot that may have formed a demand zone was here. But if you look on the 15 minute, we formed a clean demand zone here. Even though MK strategy doesn't allow you to do pre-market, sometimes I think it probably is worth it to do it. This is just, it's too clean. A 15 minute. I was hoping that a 15 minute supply would form here and this would drop. That's another reason why I didn't want to take that trade and that little chop sideways. Because if a bull flag, if a 15 minute demand, I cannot focus today, supply forms and this drops, you know, back to 4100 and then rallies after that, that would be perfect. That would be perfect. But that's not likely going to happen. Speaking of which, equivalent of 4100 on ES would be about here. So I'm going to also put an alert here on the 1 minute in the event this does pull back. Again, I don't think it will, but we'll see. But yeah, this looks like a perfect bull flag right now forming. And the next target is 4135. which is a good 13 points above where we are now. So maybe the bulls are just chopping sideways to build up energy to break through 41.30 and then power through to 41.35. I mean, the top of the bull flag is at 4160 on my chart. So if it does make it there, and if I had gotten in way down here and just waited, this at the beginning of the when it dipped to 4100, if I got in here at 41, 42, whatever, and if this makes its way back to the top of the bull flag, this today, this is going to be worth a lot of money. So I'm wondering if bulls are going to try and bring it to the top of the bull flag today and just keep chopping under it until CPI releases, and then they'll rally through. CPI will be the catalyst to break through. Or we get to the top of the bull flag today, CPI is released tomorrow, news is bad, and it drops. I don't know. But look, here's another chance I had to get in. I have 76 bucks in my account. Could have gotten here at 75. And already be up 10 bucks. I was going to say 10 ducks. I'm so out of it. Amazing. Since the bell rung, we've only had 1, 2 red candles. It blows my mind, man. It just blows my mind. The day that Adam and Mancini says we're going to be having lots of chop, the day I decide not to trade when the bell rings or shortly after the market opens, is the day that we have 99% green candles on the 5-minute, and 99% green 5-minute candles. I say 99% because I mean we're almost an hour in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 candles, and 10 out of the 12 were green. You can't make this up. You really can't. Took a trade on Thursday, burned. Took another trade on Thursday, burned. Wanted to take a trade short on Thursday, didn't. Would have been a very big profit, but the biggest I've had in a long time. Took a trade on Friday, a long call, went up just for a little bit, dropped, sold, burned. Big loss there. The swing I took, the call swing, burned. I took a short after the initial call that it dropped down. It spiked into the resistance and did a false breakout and fell back down. And it also rejected against the bottom of the bull flag. Several different reasons to take it short. Burned. It went up against me, and I sold for another loss. And here this morning, I could have taken a trade and made up for at least half the losses I had last week, and there it is, pushing through. So if I had squeezed in here at 75, 25 bucks profit right now. And we are about to hit 4128 now. Like I said, I'm sitting here with this alert thinking that this is going to come back down. It's not. It's not. If you're not in the trade now, too bad, too sad. You've missed out. I should have gotten in here when it dipped down this low to the low 70s. If I can make, it was $38 I lost last week on Friday. $38 if you count the swing and the two, the call and the short, that I lost money. And if I had gotten in here at say 75 and sold at 10, well, it's going to make its way to 105 eventually. It's going to push up there. If I can sell at 105, that's some of my losses. Anyways, what are you going to do? This isn't going to come down. This is going to continue pushing its way up. It's going to, by the end of the day, this might make its way to the top of the bull flag, and then it's going to, then it's done. And it'll just chop sideways until tomorrow's CPI. That's probably what's going to happen. So, another update. This was obviously a bull flag, charged up, flagged, charged up, and this is going to be the theme of the day, I guess. To give you an idea of where we are in a bull flag, let me back it up a little bit. There we are. We're already beyond halfway point on the bull flag, meaning if you had taken a swing at a closer strike price, let's say, well, it went down to 40 here as well, so what can you do, man? I don't know, man. This was the final resistance, the high of the day, and simply put, it was the low of today, and it just rallied from here. So I guess the market expects good news tomorrow for the CPI, and if not, we'll either do a false breakout of the bull flag tomorrow and fall, or whatever. What can I do? What I try and do to not let myself get so infuriated is I tell myself there will be other opportunities. So I should have said this morning to myself, hey, listen, you know, we bounced off of the bull flag Sunday evening. We've been rallying ever since. Trade Brigade's gap fill rule didn't apply here, so that's something else. MK's wait till 30 minutes or an hour after didn't apply here. What did apply is, and I like 15-minute demand zones. A clean 15-minute demand zone was formed. Confluence number 1. Obviously, there's a 5-minute demand zone as well, so we'll just assume that's there. A retest of the demand zone, confluence 2. The demand zone was formed exactly where Adam Mancini had a support, which was resistance on Friday, confluence number 3. And we are back into the bull flag, so it should fill out, confluence 4. Of course, one could argue that it may fall back down and retest the bull flag this morning. I think I said that was a possibility. I don't remember. But instead, this thing has rallied. So if you this morning waited till it retested the support zone, 4100, and took this long, 10 options, $45, 450 bucks, and sold at $45 here, assuming it'll reach the target of 41.35, which it did, you just made $1,000 off of 400 bucks. Minus $10 commission, which if you sold at 46 or higher, there's your commission right there. Sometimes I ask myself, why do I keep doing this? And it's just, I feel as though I'm right there. If things can just fall into place for me, I can get this, I can figure this out. Oh man. All right, midday update. This was the option I've been looking at all morning, the 411 strike, which I think was a pretty conservative strike. It would have been, me back up, 411 was a little bit beyond the halfway point, but my intention was looking for a scalp if things went that way. At no point today beyond that point where I wanted to get in earlier this morning had it gone down. In fact, if I had gone in and not done the MK strategy and I jumped in down here, what was it, 10 o'clock, when I made one of my previous videos about the bull flag, and just stayed up until, about 30 minutes ago, Yeah, would have made $100 today. Would have made $100 today, which sadly, still wouldn't cover the losses I've had for the past 2 weeks. Um, I would guess we're gonna. You know what? Let's look at Adam Mancini's most recent tweet. Perfect follow through in the S. 4100, 4105 was support, with 4128, 4135 targets today. We dipped to 4101, held it. This was resistance Friday, and also, yes, you've gotten through that. Possible cool off, okay. Then just hit 4135, target for 35 points. Possible cool off spot here before 4153, next up in this leg. 4128, 4106, now support. So, what I might be able to do, and I can see where 4128 might be, I may have to adjust this trend line. Maybe that's where he's getting 4128 from. You hear the clicks, but for some reason it just doesn't register. I don't know if it's the mouse or what's going on. And it's a big deal to me because if I'm like doing a market buy or market sell or something and I need to get in and out of position, I don't want to have to keep double clicking, or worse, if I click and there's a delay and then I click again and although that won't happen, thankfully. You can't oversell or overbuy. Well, no, you can overbuy. Um, what was I doing? I'm sorry. Yes, 4128. I think 4128 might be, well, I wonder if it's this trend, but I don't know for sure if that trend is applicable or if it's even still. I wonder if I should have moved this trend line up here, but if I move it up here, it's going to be a significant difference. And I can see a possible trend here. Whatever, I can't overcomplicate things. All right, let's just focus on what we have. Let's go back. 4128 is going to be here. So we may get a bounce at 4130. So let's put an alert there. Probably shouldn't have put it so low, but it would be ideal for it to flush slightly below, maybe touch 4127 and then come back up. That's a possibility. This means I need to adjust my strike. If 4153 is next up, then I can probably get away with 413. Options 413. Oh, it's that cheap, huh? Wow. Okay, maybe I can even do 412. Okay. Let's get rid of this because this is not happening anytime soon. And on SPY as well. Oh yeah, speaking of which, where would 413 be on? You know what? Never mind. I'll just focus on here. I'll do one more alert just in case one of them doesn't work. Or I guess I can just switch to SPY and see. 413 is about here. This was a 10 o'clock tip. Was that where it happened at 10 o'clock? Yes, so 428 was resistance. We came back down. That was at 11:38. Yep. I wasn't paying attention here, but this is a time where I think I was cooking my breakfast where I could have gotten back into the trade. Oh no. No, that's for a different yeah, no, I couldn't have. Yeah, that was $100 at the 411. At 412 I could have. So it didn't occur to me to look for a pullback and go to a higher strike. I could have done that. I could have gotten here at 60 and sold here at 110 maybe. I made like $50. I don't think it's going to come back down here, but it's possible. So that's going to be here. Let's take a look at this on the 15 and see if we had any support or demand zones forming. I really have kind of been looking offhand, and I really haven't seen anything. What about the 5? On the 5, the only thing I saw that it's not a very clean one, was this one here. But truthfully, all day, this has just been doing its own thing. This made a clean supply, but it just bounced off of this and came back up. In fact, looks like we're bouncing off of this again. So I'll need this to flush lower. I'm still not quite sure where 4130 would be on ES. I was trying to figure that out. Let me see if I can. We're looking for 4130. That dip occurred at 1135. 1135 on SPY is right about yonder. So yeah, let's move this. Let's get rid of this. And let's go ahead. I guess I should have just adjusted that one. I am so tired of having a headache, man. Of not being able to sleep properly. Edit. Green. Okay. Now we'll put the alert somewhere right here. Although again, I doubt it's gonna pull back. Oh my god, I can't stand this app, dude. I have my hands in my head and I can feel the blood just pounding. Alright. Yep, that sucks. I could have gotten here at 60. Here, this dip, this line here, this key level, which is clearly is applicable. That wonderful delay. Yep, and that dip here went down on ES to, just go ahead and put it down and show it. We dipped down to 4136. Yeah, if it doesn't pull back enough to hit down here, I'm not going to take the trade. I'm just going to have to hope that maybe there's an opportunity tomorrow after CPI. So, okay, so it looks like we did get our pullback, not quite to where I was hoping at 4130. We formed a clean demand zone here. It's down to $40. I could get in, and if it were, oh, by the way, when I made my last video, I think we're around here or something, I don't remember, but I was saying how I could have gotten in here at 60 something or whatever, and it went all the way to 125, so I could have made 60 bucks here. But I'm hesitant to jump into this one, especially after today, because we're now at 237, and if this does not push up to 412, so if SPY does not get to 412 by close of day, this is going to lose its value dramatically. I say that though, and it is pretty damn close to where I wanted it to go. Oh well, it can't hurt to just try and get in one, and then I'll put a tight stop loss. Let's see if it pulls back to 51. And then we'll put our stop loss at, I don't know, 45 if it dips any lower. I did reach out to that dumbbell owner to see if they still had the dumbbells, and they said they do. I told them I can come pick it up today, but they haven't responded. So, oh look, this is coming down. Well, what can I do? and stop loss is about to get kicked in soon. So we can just mark that off as more money lost soon. Come on. I know how the universe works. This is going to come down and fill my stop loss, and then it's going to turn around and start to go up. In fact, it'll drag slowly, slowly until it fills my stop loss and then pop back up. Or, to prove me wrong, it'll hit my stop loss and then drop and sell off dramatically. I don't know. I'm so done with trading. I can't help but wonder if I spent my time trying to learn a different trade. What if all the money I spent on this shit, what if I had like got a garage, rented it out, and learned how to, I don't know, put tinting on a car and detail cars or something fulfilling, worthwhile. You learn the skill, you apply the skill, and you get paid equal to the effort you put in. That's not what happens here. What happens here is just gambling. Should never have traded. Even though I lost, what, $5-6? I'm just so effing sick of this, man. I wonder if I should just create a new rule where I just keep this on a 15-minute chart and I don't make any trades unless I see a 15-minute demand zone form. That's it. Or a 15-minute rally-based rally or something like that. I don't know. And here, look at this. Didn't even realize this until now because I'm an idiot. 15-minute supply. And currently, the major supply. And I should make the 15-minute zones a little bit thicker. And yeah, had I taken this short, probably would have made some money. So instead of spending $50, had I gone here and taken this short, $30, I think that's what I need to start doing. Start looking for these 15-minute supply demand zones. Forget this 5-minute nonsense. And I don't know. I'm done. This is my last video for the day. You gotta see this. It's so beautifully hilarious. I'm not opening up my Thinkorswim app. You know what? No, I will. Hold on. Okay, so I have this on ES now. The support was 4130. I got in somewhere in here thinking that, hey, we came pretty close to support. This might be the point where I can take this long. No, you know what? I don't know if that really was the case. Let me see. I got in at 412. No, yeah, 412 at 1438. So it was actually here. I got in here. I had this on the 15. Let's go to the 5. I got in because of here, because of this. This gave me the impression this is where we're going to bounce, but it wasn't. We came back down, made another 5-minute demand zone, but had I just put my buy-in exactly at 4130, maybe even a hair above it, I probably would have gotten filled. This one is 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. 3:02 to be specific. So somewhere within this 5-minute candle, I would have gotten filled. Maybe I would have gotten in at 23, 24, I don't know, $25, and look how high we got, $80. Get in here at $25. Let's just say I got in at 30, whatever. and I set my sell limit. Um, Actually, it didn't go as high as I probably would have thought it would. I would have thought it would have gotten up to here. But let's look at the 50-minute. Yeah. Here, if I did my supply here, which may end up being the supply, but I'm not gonna bother. You know what? I'll do it because the moment I say I'm not gonna do it, somehow tomorrow is gonna be a key level of something. I think I'm gonna start doing 15-minute supply and demand zones and stop with the 5-minute. And if we did the 10-cent square, you know what? I'm not doing that. But 64. So let's say we sell at 74, or 64 at 50, 54. 54. Wait a minute. I'm talking about SPY though. Okay. Anyways, my point is, you know what? No, let's do it on SPY. Because again, anytime, you know what? I already have it. I have it from before. I forgot I moved this down. So if I set my sell limit somewhere just below this, I would have likely have gotten filled and sold at maybe 70, 80 something, whatever. So I still could have gotten maybe about 50 bucks, 40 bucks today. Incredibly annoying. And if I had gotten in down here, if I was so sure about this bounce, I could have gotten in at, and you know what? I couldn't find the equivalent. I could not find the equivalent of 4130 here on ES, but apparently it's here. Don't know what this is. So this is where we dipped before and came back up, dipped again, came back up. So this was the key level right here. So yeah, I could have got in at $20. I could have gotten at two options at 25, sold both at 80 or 75 or 65, whatever, and made some profits. But instead, I got in early, got faked out. Well, not really faked out, because I mean, I got in at 53, way over here. Unless I just decided not to even sell the option and just decide that I'm gonna risk losing all of it in case this fell, because this is today's expiration, by the way. And there was a time where I said, you know what, I'm gonna always use a 50% stop loss. And oh my God, that was killing me. That was killing me because it is not uncommon for an option to go lose 50% of its value in like 10 minutes and in the next 10 minutes gain 50% of its value. Not uncommon at all. Look, we went from, and these are minutes, at 341, we were at $80 peak, close to it. And at 351, we're now at $30. So 50% of the value of that premium disappeared. And now it's peaking back up again. It's just, it's the end of the day, volatility, theta, decay, whatever. But my point is had I just, you know, I might have to start doing that too. I might just have to like sort of anticipate the inevitability of things not working out in my direction. Like if my support is here, I have to just assume that it's either going to reach that support and touch it, go slightly below it, and if it doesn't, then what can I do? So yeah, this is the pullback this was the small opportunity I had to make a little bit of money, and instead of making money, I lost money yet again today. So I'm done. This is my last video for the day.